It's Logan Renee of the Soulkation Podcast, a place where you will learn how to shape your own success, how to get over situationships, and how to maximize your unique gifts. For more in-depth tools, head on over to loganrenee.com. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Soulkation Podcast. I have with me Davide Di Giorgio, who's an award-winning theater producer. He's an international bestseller. He's a leadership coach. He's a TEDx speaker and a world-class leading speaker expert. Just to clear that up, he's the man. If you were wondering who's the man, David is the man. Welcome to the Soulkation Podcast, David.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me on.
Such an honor to have you. I know that you wear many hats, so thank you so much for taking the time to do the podcast with me today.
Absolutely.
So take us to David that grew up in Toronto. Can we meet him?
Ooh, we're going way back now. David, who grew up in Toronto, of immigrant parents. So I'm Italian. My parents were both born in Italy, and I was born in Toronto, so I'm truly first generation. I say that I'm Canadian just by, location. However, I'm fully Italian, Sicilian, in fact. And, immigrant parents, they work hard. And I grew up in a great home, great family life, with respect to having everything that we needed. And our parents pushed us to be more and do more and work hard. But of course, there were only a couple options. You were either going to be a doctor, a lawyer, or an accountant. And my older brother became the accountant, or he went to school for accounting. And so then that was taken because you can only have one kid do the same thing, right? And so then I had the option of lawyer or doctor. And I think my parents didn't think I was smart enough to be a doctor. So they said, well, you're going to be a lawyer. And so you can imagine their shock when I told them when I was in senior year of high school that I was going to actually go into music, which is a great hobby, but that's not a career.
Right.
So, I was this creative kid, and I really started to find my calling in my second, third year of high school when I got into the High School Musical, and I music directed. And then in my senior year, they asked me to write the musical, so I composed all the music for it. And
wow.
I just had it in me. Yeah. And so, I did eventually go off to university for music. And basically, the last 25 years, I've been working with performers, presenters, speakers, leaders of all kinds across multiple different industries because of that start in music and working in the theater.
I love that. So that truly means that nothing that you do is wasted because everything always adds up to the next thing. Do you believe that?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. It's funny. I was actually on a conference call this morning for a project that I'm going to be doing next year. And as the person who was leading the call was talking, I realized, oh my goodness, every experience I've had in my life until this point is going to be an asset for this project. I'm going to be able to teach yoga. I've planned international retreats before, and my American mom, she did all sorts of retreats around the world. So I'm going to help with that aspect, all of the personal development and the teaching. I was a teacher for 10 years. All of that comes together. Every single thing that you do, pay attention, glean the lessons from it, because it all adds up to the miracle that you're living out right now.
That's good. And I guess since you were a teacher for so many years, would you say that was your practice stage since you are, a TEDx speaker and a world leading speaker? Do you think that was your first stage?
Actually, I think my first stage was the theater for sure.
Okay.
And that really was the training ground because I became a teacher a little bit later in life. And so I started teaching officially at 30 and it was amazing. But I had done a lot of stuff before that. And when I became a teacher, what really shifted for me was understanding what teaching is and coaching and what it is not. And that was a huge shift for me because I taught high school. I was head of a music department for 10 years. And what I really learned was in order to be a great teacher, really what you're doing is you're holding space for other people to learn. So really what you are is an expert learner. Because I can't make you learn anything really. What I can do is inspire you to learn something for yourself. So that was really what I picked up. And I just wanted to clear something up. So I have spent my entire life working with speakers, presenters, and performers. So I like to joke that I'm kind of like the Quincy Jones in the speaking place. You know, the consummate producer, the guy who's behind the curtain. It's only in the last couple of years since I immigrated and now live in San Diego that I've committed to myself to coming out from behind the curtain and now live my life in the spotlight in front of the curtain. So I actually haven't done my own TEDx talk yet. That's coming later this year, beginning 19. But I've worked with a lot of people who've done their own TEDx talks.
Wow. How do you know that that person is ready for your level of training or expertise? How do you choose that person? Because I know you like to work with people who are on purpose and those who are serious. So both of you walk away with something. How do you choose them?
That's a great question. And it's funny because the further I go down the line in my own business, the more I get very clear on this. And I think this is a normal trajectory for anyone who is sort of building the business, the life that they want. So there's two answers. One is you're already ready right now. Now, here's the thing. So becoming a speaker, a world-renowned, a world-class, even a highly paid speaker, all it requires is that you have the confidence, the belief in yourself that you can do it just like so many other people have done it.
Yeah.
You know, even the greats, Les Browns, the Brian Tracys, someone like Tony Robbins, they just decided that's what they were going to do. They had no idea what they were doing to start. So they went and found mentors and they went and found coaches and they learned from other people. You have to make that choice to decide that you're ready right now. I can't make that choice for you. Now, when it comes to, okay, are you ready for speaker coaching? I tell a lot of people, especially the people who are just starting out, or once you've made that decision, the best thing you can do is now start to speak. Speakers speak. I always say this, right? Speakers don't sit behind their computer and figure it out. Speakers don't write out their next talk. Speakers don't go to a networking event and tell people they're a speaker, but don't actually go and speak, right?
Yeah.
So it's a matter of bringing it to life and start speaking and start. So here's a little nugget for you. The number one way to spot someone who's an amateur in the speaking world, whether they're coaching or in the speaking world, is they call it public speaking.
Yeah.
What does that mean? As opposed to what? Are you speaking by yourself in the closet somewhere? We're always speaking in public, right? Yeah. So you are speaking, even when you're speaking one-on-one, you have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years of experience as a speaker. So start calling yourself a speaker. Once you start to really figure out, okay, this is what I'm about, this is what I believe, this is who I am, then we're ready to really start to craft something together and create a talk, a movement, a platform that sets other people on fire and in motion.
I love it. So you host an event in San Diego called the Unapologetic Speaker. Can you tell me what that means to you and why did you start it?
So let's just talk about the word unapologetic for a second. That word came to me after what do you do? The first thing you do when you want to start a business, basically. So I immigrated from Toronto to the US and I thought, okay, well, I'm going to sort of start my life over again. And what do I want that to look like? Well, of course, what do you need? A website. Pretty much. And that's the first mistake I made. But okay, we think, okay, we need a website for something, right? So I started using the word unforgettable. And it was kind of lukewarm and nobody really, I don't know, it just didn't really land that much with people. And then one day I went to a networking event and I just said, what would it be like if you could be unapologetic about what you believe and what you had to say to the world? Why don't you just do that and say that? And this woman messaged me the next day. She sent me an email actually and said, "Oh my gosh, I've been thinking about that ever since you said it. I want to be unapologetic. How do I do that? I've been waiting my whole life to say what I want to say." And it just started to take off. So I started to realize, okay, I know that I need to build my own platform and build a business from scratch in a new city where I don't have a lot of connections. Mm-hmm. And I knew that in order to get people excited about something, you have to give them what they want.
Yeah.
And that woman basically said it. People want to share what they believe. People want a platform to speak and talk about themselves.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, well, what if I created an event, kind of like American Idol, where you are the point, the audience. Mm-hmm. I and a special guest am there just to give support and feedback and some expert feedback on what it looks like to be a paid speaker, to build a speaking career, so on and so forth. And that's how the Unapologetic Speaker Experience was born. And we've been going strong since October of 2017. We've had it every single month without fail. And it's great. It really is. You've been, it's literally like an American Idol style event where everybody gets to introduce themselves, and then a handful of people, 5 or 6, depending on the night, get to speak for 5 minutes, and they get special feedback and coaching from me and the special guest. And I always say, I'm the Simon, and the special guest can be the Paula or the Ray or whatever else they want. But it's been really, really great to build community. Yeah. And it's such a blessing to see so many people, you included, to come out and share what their vision is with the world, and to see you step out and become confident. It's that first step of becoming a speaker. And we take photographs of everybody, and then people use those photographs as their profile photos, and then they start getting asked to speak places, and they just get more confidence. It's been such a blessing to build this event.
Definitely. And even seeing, because I've been 3 times, mm-hmm. and every speaker that I've seen go up and, present themselves, it seems like every month it gets better. So there's growth in the room, as well as learning in the room and vulnerability in the room. So it's a beautiful thing. So thank you for starting it.
Thank you for acknowledging that too, because even for me, I sometimes I think to myself, like, okay, do people get anything out of this actually? But then I see when people come back, and even if they're only doing a 30-second intro or whatever that might be, or how they interact in the room with other people, I see the confidence building so quickly. And so I know that it makes me very happy. And I feel so blessed to be able to create the space for people to grow as speakers and leaders.
I love it. So you fully transitioned from underemployer to entrepreneur full-time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what's one lesson that you learned in that transition financially that you had to learn very quickly?
Ooh. And I know you are also learning these lessons fast too, right? As you make your own transition and decide what you want life to look like. I learned very fast, you need way more money than you thought you did. I also learned that it seems like everybody else is making money, but I'm paying everybody else.
Right.
It's like, what is
going on?
But I think the biggest lesson, to be quite honest, because I had tried a couple of other moves before. So I'd moved twice, 3 times actually, and it wasn't as successful. And I'll tell you the reason it wasn't as successful is because I did not build community fast. The first thing that you need to do before you even consider a website, because if you don't have community, nobody is going to look at your website, period. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
And so you need to get on the phone. You need to get up out of your house, get on Meetup and Eventbrite and Eventsy and whatever, Nextdoor, whatever platforms you want to use, Facebook events, and go out and meet people in real life and build a community of people who know who you are in person. And do that in addition to all the digital stuff you want to do. That's great. Now, let me offer one caveat, because some people say, I just want to build a digital business because I'm a mom or a stay-at-home dad or whatever the case may be. Then that's great. Do what works for you. But the real lesson here is you need to build community, and you need to do it fast. The only reason that I've had so many people jump on board on my soon to be released book and we actually just got another very exciting endorsement on the book today that I'll be revealing soon, is because I've built community and I went to lots of events and I've on Facebook, talking to people on LinkedIn, connecting with people one-on-one, not just pretending to add value to their lives, but actually connecting on a human level. And that has been the game changer for me. And that has actually helped me to build my brand, my personal brand. So people know who I am because I'm constantly in their face. I'm out and about and people are talking about me because they get to know me and they know that I'm funny and they know that I'm real and they know I love to cook and I have a husband and I have a fluffy dog. And they start talking about you. And I think that's the biggest thing beside anything else that you could invest in, or a coach or a mentor or anything. Start building your community. And even go back to all of your friends who know you really well and tell them what you're doing. Share with everybody. Tell everyone what you're doing, because not enough people know the struggles you're having. Not enough people know what you're building. Like, we think that it's going to be some big secret and then we're going to launch something. And all of a sudden, all these people are going to buy or enroll or whatever the case may be, right? But it's too late once you launch. You don't have a community. So you need to get people excited. So you just have to live your life out loud. Share with everybody.
Very true. I love that. So good. And so true. Because you think people know what you're doing and you think people are, they're always going to root for you, especially people that truly love you. They're going to root for you. But it's shocking to me how many of my family members don't know anything about what it is that I'm doing. And I talk to them all the time, So that's very true. Thank you so much for saying it. And it was a great reminder for me. So since you wear so many hats, and I really don't believe in balance, but I believe in staying in love with every area, right? In love with your health, in love with your spouse, in love with your family, because like I said, I don't believe truly in balance. So how do you stay in love with all of those different things?
It's a choice. I remember, so for a hot minute, and it was one of the worst minutes of my life, I owned a yoga studio business. It was terrible. And I remember one of the people who inspired me to get into this mess, it's a whole other episode, but she used to say, "Oh my gosh, I love my life." They owned a yoga studio. I get up out of bed and I'm just like so on fire and on purpose. And I just wanted to punch her in the throat every time I heard her talk, because I thought, how did she discover the fountain of youth or the miracle or the Holy Grail or whatever it is? And I cannot figure this out. All I see is $10,000 a month in rent and not enough people doing yoga in my studio, And I have to choose every day I wake up and I remind myself who I need to be in order to achieve my goal, achieve my vision. I need to be an unmessable, joyfully audacious, unapologetic leader, unapologetic speaker, a joyfully audacious husband and partner. I have to remind myself constantly. That's nobody else's job. That's not by accident. That's not, look, here's the deal. We arrived as a miracle. So you need to celebrate that every single day. You arrived with a standing ovation. Now, the rest of your life, until the next standing ovation you get at the exit of your life, it's up to you to actually celebrate, to actually inspire yourself. You are the reason. You are the miracle you've been waiting for. And so I just put my big boy pants on about 2 years ago, and I said, okay, David, if it's gonna, what's the famous quote? If it's to be, it's up to me. Well, it sure is. And so I choose every day, every hour, every couple hours, my phone alarm goes off and I celebrate. Literally, I stand up and I shake my butt and I celebrate something. And it's interesting because more and more, I talk about this a lot in my book, actually, and I know people get confused because I'll reach out to someone that doesn't necessarily know me and I'll say, hey, what are you celebrating? I just did this on LinkedIn the other day, and they replied, they said, I'm confused. I don't know what you're asking. I said, well, what are you celebrating in your business or your life? And she said, oh, did you want me to meet on Zoom with you or Skype? Are you trying to sell me something? I said, no, I'm just trying to connect with people on my LinkedIn personally. And she was just so confounded by this idea that I was asking her what she's celebrating. People do not celebrate enough. Yeah. Again, famous quote, what you focus on expands. Yes. Well, what are you focusing on? What isn't working or what is working? And just to take the point even a little further, I had a good friend of mine one day, he called me and he said, David, I'm so disgusted with myself. I was talking to a new client and somehow what came out of my mouth is I'm going to coach them for $200 a month. And that includes 4 calls and so on and so forth. He said, I'm so angry and disgusted with myself that I said $200 a month. It's not enough. And I said, okay, so what are you celebrating? And he said, what are you talking about? I'm disgusted with myself. I said, well, maybe are you celebrating the fact that you're never going to do that again? And he said, oh my gosh, you're so right. I know I'm worth way more than that. I said, well, you need to get up and shake your booty because you have awareness that you're never going to make that same mistake again. And there's a reason to celebrate.
Wow. That's so good. So good. I wrote down one of your quotes. I have arrived to this earth as a miracle. Mm-hmm. I love that.
Yeah.
So this is the Soulkation Podcast. So I'm going to do some rapid soul questions to end our interview. They're going to be very quick, and whatever comes to your mind, just spit it out. Okay.
Ready.
Who is the one person that you admire?
Oh my goodness. There are so many. The first person that came to my mind is my husband, Heath. And I admire him because he has given me the space to be and to reinvent myself and to recreate what I needed to without any expectation. So Heath, you're my number one.
Nice. The last song you listened to?
Something from Katy Perry. Okay. Firework, probably. I bounce on my trampoline to her every single day.
Got a little energy.
Mm-hmm.
Your favorite season of the 4?
I love summer because it's just the season of abundance and excess and just joy. Summer is it.
Definitely. I agree. One product that you must use every day besides your phone.
Oh, gosh, a product. Well, I mean, okay, I'm going to say this is a little bit strange, but water. Because the moment I started drinking a lot more water, everything got better. Brain works better, everything. I'm happier, everything works better.
I got to go grab my water. If you could grab dinner with anyone in the world, who would it be?
Dolly Parton.
Wow. Why do you say that?
Oh my God, she is the epitome of being unapologetic. She says what she wants, she does what she wants, and she has created an absolute empire of giving and abundance for other people.
Wow.
Truly one of my biggest heroes.
Nice. What is one book that everyone should read?
The Bible.
Mm-hmm. Good one. Lastly, what are you looking to do next and how can we support you?
Oh my gosh. Well, the book, Being Unapologetic, is launching. The ebook launches on August 22nd. And then the hardcover comes out just after that. And you can learn more about the book at beingunapologetic.com. Super, super excited for this. It is a movement that is attached to a big giving project that has been on my heart for, 25 years or more. And I can't wait to share the work with the world.
I'm so excited too. I can't wait for my signed copy.
Coming.
Thank you so much for being with us. I more than appreciate you.
Back at you, Logan. Thank you for all the blessings that you're bringing to the rest of the world too.
Thank you so much. All right. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye-bye.
My hope is that your soul just went on a vacay and you have tools that you can apply to your life today. I love your feedback, so make sure you subscribe and email your questions by clicking on the link in the show notes. I'll talk to you soon.